Stuck at home and you don't know what to do. Hold on, baby, Rhonda Shear's got you. Grab your computer, log on, baby, you got the power. It's the Rhonda Shear Social Hour. It's the Rhonda Shear Social Hour.
Hi, everyone. It's me, Rhonda Shear, and welcome to Rhonda Shear Social Hour. And because of you, you're making us really successful because now you're watching us or can watch us live on Rhonda Shear TV on YouTube right now. Or you can go to Facebook and go to Rhonda Shear's fan page and watch us live, or to even my friend page and watch us live on Facebook. And you can go to, which is our homepage, which you really need to visit so you can participate in all the fun things that we do, www.rhondashearsocialhour.com. And wait, we're also a podcast. And where do you hear that? Any place that you hear podcasts. So it's really exciting. And this just started off with me in my living room because we were bored during the shutdown. And we're getting somewhere. We're going to have a great show for you tonight, like two very special guests. We have Emmy award-winning director, producer, actor, musician. We're going to get to him in a little bit. Dear friend. He's a dear friend because I'm hoping he casts me in his next film. But anyway, yes, a friend from a long, long time ago. And I was even in his film for like 3 seconds, Richard Gabai. And then stay tuned after that for a knockout boxing manager, motivational speaker, a truly lovely person, one of a kind, Jackie Callan, and a movie was made about her life. So we're going to meet her in a little bit. But you know, I like to do my shtick up front and promote everything because that's just what I do. So if you haven't gotten the book that Richard Gabai will hopefully be making into a movie, this is what we do. We get directors on here, and I just keep pitching myself. But anyway, you got to read this. It's Up All Night, From Hollywood Bombshell to Lingerie Mogul, Life Lessons from an Accidental Feminist. It's really good. It's not just an autobiography, although it has a lot of stuff from Hollywood and even earlier, but also the Me Too moments in my life, which there were plenty of. But also, if you are an entrepreneur or you have a product and you're looking to get it to market and you don't know how to make that happen, plenty of tips in this book. So it's a really, really nice read, a good read. You can get that on Amazon.com, or you can go to RhondaShear.com, where you can buy the book, and you can also buy masks and panties and underwear. But we have a really cool mask that I want to show you a picture of that we just started carrying. Look at this new mask. Like, you know, it's always about covering your nose and your mouth. You got to cover the nostrils. We don't want to see nostrils. Isn't that so funny? I think it's so funny. It's a bikini. But look, you got to look at it this way. Her nose is covered and her mouth is covered. That's not what we sell. But we do sell these beauties. They're kind of sexy. We got lace. We've got solids. We've got more lace for you. We've got sequins, and we have blacks and other colors for like the men in your life. Actually, they're really good. So when you talk and you have lipstick on, if you do have lipstick on under a mask, which is really dumb, your lips don't touch the mask. So go to RhondaShear.com because I think we're going to be wearing a mask for a long, long time. And I actually think that if some miracle happened and a vaccine happened tomorrow, I think I'm going to be into this mask culture anyway, because I've been thinking, I grew up with cooties, and there's a lot of cooties out there. Okay, so, you know, this is the Rhonda Shear Social Hour. So we like to get social. So what does that mean to you? It means when I say the word hair, and it all started because no one could get their hair done, including me. When I say the word hair, and you hear this, dun, 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 hair. Take a sip of whatever you have in front of you. Hopefully it's pink. Hopefully it's white. Hopefully whatever color of liquor or non-liquor you choose. Okay, here we go. Cheers. If you heard that snore, it wasn't me. I've got 5 dogs in front of me. Okay, so we want to introduce someone who's very special to this show. And because it is a social hour, he likes to teach us to make very special drinks. So I would like to introduce Professor Cocktail. Pay really close attention because his drinks are like just beyond.
Pink lady, cold mode baby, gonna make the drink and don't mean maybe. Professor Cocktail. Old fashioned gin and juice, mix it with Red Bull to get a boost.
everybody. Professor Cocktail here again to instruct you on the proper way to make drinks. Tonight we're going to focus on cheap beer and how to make it better. So first you pop the top of the beer, you pour it in. That'll settle. And then you take some of this dry sake and you put it in your little sake. And then you take this, you go around twice around because that mixes the sake. And then you bombardier it right in the cheap beer. And then put one of those in. And there you go. That's your sock it to me, baby. Try it.
Tom Collins whiskey stout, a fruity drink with a giant flower. Professor Cocktail. Professor Cocktail.
You can see we don't like to take ourselves too seriously on that show. That's really my very dear friend. I can't give away who he really is, but it's Professor Cocktail. So I'm going to introduce a clip for this gentleman before I introduce him. Very exciting what he's done with his life. I met him, I believe, when he was in his 20s and producing and directing films. But this is a really cool film, which I haven't seen yet, but I've heard about it. I'm just being honest, but I want to see it because I'm a big fan. My husband and I are a big fan of Westerns. And this is a throwback to the Westerns, like the John Wayne Westerns. And he's got some great people starring in it, like Jackson Rathbone, Stephen Lang, Nathan Parsons. But let's just look at a little clip, and you can download this too from Justice, Richard Gabai directing.
Yeah, bad men here, terrorizing this good community. I have taken a stand and have paid a price for it.
See you on the other side, Reverend.
If any of y'all see the Reverend McCord, tell him his brother's looking for him.
The U.S. Marshal. It could be that you might not buy the fact that his brother's death was accidental. I want you to persuade him it's time for him to leave this town forever.
Your brother's gone, but you can join him if you want.
That's not gonna happen.
He can't be allowed to interfere with my business.
He's planning something big, Captain.
There are rogue elements from the Confederacy. These men, the war isn't over.
This town belongs to me, and that's just the start.
It's time we take a stand.
It is joy to the just to do judgment. Justice is present.
You still with me?
You bet I am. I'm not everything you got.
I got the chills. I'd like to introduce the director of that film. We'll talk more about his career, Richard Gabai. Let's hope he's there. He's coming. Oh, look at you.
Hang on. Just getting to the good part.
Wait. That's very sweet. How you do? You haven't changed. You look the same.
Thank you. You likewise, you know. And your hair looks great.
Oh, wait. I got sound effects. Ooh, I like the shape of your glass. I want to say something. I was like going around on the internet today and I saw something so sweet that just warmed my heart. It was a little video that you made with your beautiful wife and your 3 beautiful daughters, just saying thank you. And with all of your success, you are just so humble. And I love that. You haven't changed. You were sweet then, way back, and you're sweet now. And you're humble and thankful. And I can tell that just from your interviews. And
I am very grateful. I mean, Rhonda, none of us are digging ditches for a living. And a lot of people make a lot of sacrifices so we can goof off. And we can never forget that.
Oh, well, one thing you have not been goofing off. I'm just going to give everybody just a couple of more little tidbits about you being a veteran of film, television, and the LA rock scene as a musician. You did a film, which I think people can see now. You'll let me know if I'm wrong on this, but A Gingerbread Romance, which came out last year on the Hallmark channel, which is
Hallmark channel.
If once you're on there, it's like It's crazy. And then Justice looks amazing. Like my husband and I are huge fans of Westerns, and that's a long way. I'm not putting it down, but we did Revenge of the Party Nerds too. Oh, my dogs are going to start barking. This is going to be great.
Yeah, that was our dog. Sorry.
No, don't worry about it. I got 5 of them down here. They're going to go for it. Revenge of the Party Nerds 2 that I did with you. I think it was with Michelle Bauer and Lene Quigley. I had a small part.
Revenge of the Party Nerds too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I actually was digging up I was trying to find some cool pictures, but they're all on slides. And I didn't have time to transfer, but I did want to see if I can kind of get this.
That's really awesome. Wait.
There.
Oh, yeah. Oh, from the film.
Yeah. I got to get these transferred. I will. I'll get them sent to you.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool.
And Justice was a treat. You know, you mentioned it's on Netflix now, by the way. And you mentioned John Wayne Style. And, you know, I don't know if you're friends with Robert Carradine as well, but Bobby Carradine, who claimed to fame of Revenge of the Nerds and who I ripped off to make Assault of the Party Nerds, basically. His first movie was with John Wayne, The Cowboys.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
And so in Justice, I brought him back, and now he's kind of the older guy. And we shot at the exact same film ranch out in New Mexico that he shot The Cowboys at. So there is a big John Wayne connection there.
Big John Wayne connection. And I love this. And I think there's a lot of people that love the throwback to Westerns. But you've been very busy because you continue to act, direct. You have a new, it's your latest album, Double Life, that's out. And I heard some of it. And how do you describe, I love the sound of it, but I'm not good with telling people what genre. So what do you call, I did hear though, that you did all the vocals and you did all the guitar work. That I heard on one of your podcasts. And I thought, wow, that's my husband's like fantasy. But
it was mine too, because I've always written and recorded, music throughout my career. And some of the songs are songs that I wrote a long time ago. Some of them are newer songs. But I never felt that I was good enough to, play all the guitar parts. And I always have somebody come in and play the lead. And this time I just said, screw it. I'm playing every guitar. And my engineer / producer on the album, Cal Campbell, the great Glenn Campbell's son, who's beyond a brilliant musician in his own right. He really pushed me and got me to do, sing all those harmony parts. And I'm really proud of the record. And I'm glad it's a new world where anybody who wants to stream it can just stream it. They don't have to go, buy a CD for whatever at a record store. Right. So it's fun.
Double Life. I'm going to download it, and we're going to probably watch Justice later on. Cool. I know my husband will be really excited about that.
I think you'll dig it. I know you'll dig it.
But so I knew that you did Vice Girls. I know that we played a lot of I feel like your film's on Up All Night too.
Oh, let me tell you, I am forever in your debt at USA Network. And because, I know you posted that I was blessed to recently win an Emmy. And while I'm very, very proud of that, it is just one notch below my USA B- Up All Night award, which it actually, I don't know if you remember, it was we won it for Assault of the Party Nerds. We got 2 of them. I think the late, great Gary Coleman presented it to me. It was either him or Dice. I remember seeing all those guys backstage at that show when we had that award show.
That was an amazing show.
It was amazing. Anyway, that aluminum, that film tin with a foam B with a minus on a spring. I mean, I kept that in my house, but literally the foam disintegrated. I got the Emmy just in time. But I mean,
the cheapest budget film that you've ever done, way when you were like 12. I mean, couldn't be close to the budget of Up All Night. Although it was great years. It started a lot of people off. It did.
The original Assault of the Party Nerds was $40,000 finished on film.
Wow, that's amazing.
So on Up All Night, I think there was Assault of the Party Nerds, Assault of the Party Nerds 2, and Virgin High that I made. And Vice Girls, but also that I directed Vice Girls, and I starred in that. But then Dinosaur Island and Bikini Drive-In.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
And the one that Fred Ray and Jim Wynorski made, and the one that started this whole train wreck of a career, Nightmare Sisters.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Rhonda, I used to walk into the Formosa Cafe and people would buy me drinks because they were watching my movies on your show, and it was at a time when I kind of, buying a drink was kind of a stretch for me.
Oh my God. Well, first of all, were you carded? How you were in your
I was carded until I was in my mid-30s. I'm in my late 30s now. No.
Yeah, I know, but you were really young when you did all that. It's interesting that you say Jim Wynorski. He's on next week. He's on
cool.
with Becky LeBeau and a bunch of the gals. And it's funny, since I started doing this show, I guess, I've never stopped getting fan mail from Up All Night. It's wild. But a lot of the horror genre fans have really come out. So we're getting more and more people. And there's such a throwback to that era. Like, people are doing those films, people who are now like in their late 30s, early 40s. They're missing those days, those carefree days of all those films. And there's such a throwback. Like, you need to be a guest on Dueling Decades. Those guys are cool. They would love you. I'm going to make that happen.
Oh, cool.
You'll love it. You'll love it. You'll just love it. I mean, they're so knowledgeable. But
I'd love to do it.
I've been doing a lot of these shows and podcasts, and there's such a love and appreciation of that genre of film. So, it's really interesting. Up All Night was great for me, and I thought, it's going to just start off so many things. What it did was it typecast me. I'm not putting it down. I loved it. And if I would have stuck in Hollywood for a few years, maybe some of that I would have been able to get some legit roles. But I went off and got married to my high school sweetheart and started a panty business, which is all good. So I'm not putting that down. But
all related.
No, it's all no. But your life is interesting because you've kind of gone in all. You've kind of taken the direction, but your directions have been obviously all great. I read somewhere that you wanted this since you were a child. I understand, because I wanted show business from childhood as well. But the fact that I never knew that you sang or played music, and that you have music that's in other films that other people.
And all those early movies, they were kind of wall to wall my songs. And then Fred Ray and Jim Wynorski would license my songs. All right.
Sorry.
So, and by the way, going back to Robert Carradine. So Robert Carradine from Revenge of the Nerds and the Cowboys and the Big Run and Red One and all that, he's become like a brother to me, and he's my lead guitar player in the band when we play nightclubs.
So you're still playing nightclubs? You do nightclubs?
Right, we just started again, and we played Molly Malone's in LA like at the end of last year, and then we did the Viper Room in January, and shockingly, we packed it. And we were booked on Saturday night, April 4th, and it got COVID canceled.
Yeah.
But that clip that you almost just started playing is those are clips from our last two nightclub shows that were a few months ago that my
we're gonna play
that cut together.
We just like to mess with our guests and see what happens when we put up their stuff in the middle.
Hair. Can we say hair? Can we say hair?
Well, let's say hair. Let's say hair. We're professional, but not that much. Okay, here we go. Ready? Okay.
And I'll tell you about, because
I want to hear everything.
Comment about my hair. My mom, who is in her 80th year, still has dark hair.
That's awesome. Wait.
So yeah, this is the real McCoy. Oh yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's awesome, and that's awesome that you have your mom. I heard your dad pass. I'm sorry, but
Thank you.
That's just great. I mean, that she's gotten to see, like, first of all, your beautiful family, and you have 3 girls. Ha ha! Boy, someone wants.
I actually have 2 girls. The youngest, he's so handsome and beautiful. When he was smaller, especially, people would mistake him as a little girl. But Raphael is now 14, and he's a strapping young teenager.
Okay. Well, you can have pretty. You can be a pretty boy, as well, and be handsome.
Oh yeah. And we kept his hair really long until he was 3. So you might have seen that.
So how old are your kids now?
19. Juliet is 19.
Baby.
Miriam is 17, and Raphael is 14 today.
Oh, hello, and happy
My
birthday.
wife is still 26, and I'm in my early 30s.
She's beautiful, and yeah, you definitely have your hands full with 2 teenage daughters. Well, 3 teenagers in the house, but it's good right now.
It's really good.
You can kind of keep track of them. All right, I'm jumping back to your career. I jump around, but that's my style. Because I'm non-compliant. I'm not. I like to just have fun. So
I'm a peaceful protester also.
Oh, good. Oh, big time. So Quentin Tarantino was a fan of Vice Girls. So have you ever done anything with him or reached out to him or because
there's an interesting story to that, because I had just made a movie called Pop Star with Aaron Carter, the late great David Cassidy, and Leif Garrett. So I had 3 generations of pop stars in the movie. And some of the crew guys and my wife walked across. We screened on Hollywood Boulevard. We walked across to this bar called Bordner's, just to grab a drink. And we walked in there, and Quentin was in the corner of the bar holding court. And he looks at me and he goes,
"Oh, wow."
And I just kind of look away and like, you know what? I goes, "Hey," I was like, "Hey, honey, there's Quentin Tarantino." And I look back over there and he goes, and I'm still like, what, you know? Anyway, so she says, "He's calling you over the table." I walked over towards this table, and when I was like 6 feet away, he said, "You're Richard Gabai. You made Assault of the Party Nerds and Assault of the Party Nerds 2. There's only 2 Assault of the Party Nerds. You made Virgin High. You made Vice Girls. There's only 1 Vice Girls. There's 5 Vice Academies, but there's only 1 Vice Girls." And I said, and in Vice Girls, I played the role of Quentin, which was an homage to him. So I was kind of, I said, you know, that role I played with because I was kind of wearing the black suit with the thin black tie. I said, you know, that's an homage. That's not a satire. And he looks at me and he goes, "It's all love. It's all love." He pounds on his chest. He goes like this. And he basically interviewed me for 30 minutes, poured me champagne. And then I went back. He said, "I'm a huge fan of Vice Girls and all your movies." And then I went back to my friends. And then when I was leaving, I kind of looked back over my shoulder, and he was in the corner. He goes like this. He goes,
"Oh, that's so cool."
I went home that night, absolutely certain he was going to call me any minute to star in his latest movie. And while that hasn't happened, when the premiere of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, you know, Bobby Carradine had been in Django and knows Quentin. I said, "Frickin' call Quentin, tell him you and Gabai want to go to the premiere." And he was like, "No, I don't want to be that guy." I said, "I want to be that guy. Just email his assistant and say, hey, I would like to come to the premiere if it's okay, if, you know, if there's a place. And also actor, director Richard Gabai, you know, he would love to come." And he invited both of us. And we went to the premiere of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And when I got there, he wanted me to walk the red carpet.
Well, you should.
Yeah, I did. I kind of thought it was like, you know, I was Bobby's date, maybe, you know. But when I got there, the publicist was like, "Oh, Mr. Gabai, here's your card. You know, you walk." And we both walked. We ended up walking the red carpet together, and we didn't see him that night. But I didn't get to. He hasn't called me yet for the film he wants me for.
It's early. It's early.
It's early.
As long as he keeps making films, because he keeps saying it's his last. I don't think it is. It was a great film. I loved it.
I remember 30 years ago when Sean Penn retired. So,
right,
you know.
Exactly. Yeah, he's going to keep going. He's got too much in him, as you do. So, how many films have you directed at this point? Like, I read something like 30, something like that.
Somewhere in that ballpark, like 25, 30.
And you continue to act. I mean, I know people probably ask you this, and I don't. And I know you're not going to have. Well, I'll ask you. What's your favorite? Music, acting, directing, or all 3, or it doesn't matter?
It's been, you know, I really feel like it's a business of opportunity. You know, often the opportunity you have is what you need to do, unless you're really privileged or really famous. I just recently, at the end of the year, I got to co-star in an action movie for a good friend of mine, Chris Ray, who's become a great producer and a great director.
Wow.
Who invited me to do this action film. Can I have a sip without saying the word?
Yes.
He invited me to star in this action film with, it turns out, my good friend Sean Patrick Flannery and Michael Jai White, and a great cast. And I was out in Buffalo for 3 weeks shooting automatic weapons and being a bad guy. And I just had the time of my life, you know? So, and when I get to say action and cut again, I'll be happy too. But I think if I was only left with one thing to do, it would probably be music.
Yeah.
If I was left with 2 things to do, it gets to be a little bit tougher. But I think I'm lucky to be in a position now where hopefully I can sort of pick and choose and direct my path a little bit more, you know?
I'm so proud of you. I mean, you were awesome then, even though you didn't cast me in like all your films. Like I never got that. I mean, I was a host, but I was an actress. But anyway, forget all that. Let bygones be.
You know, Rhonda, I have the same problem.
What's that chick? What's the girl's name I always say that she has my career? Jennifer Coolidge has my fucking career. She does, because she's like the blonde who plays the funny roles. Like, because I left there. I left to be a designer, and it's not too late. I want to be
right. I hear you. And you're a maverick. You're an entrepreneur. You know, when I started, before I made Assault of the Party Nerds, when I got out of college, I immediately booked a Budweiser beer commercial. And that was when you really made money on commercials.
Oh, yeah, the residual.
I would like walk up to my mailbox and there'd be $9,000, and I'd walk up to my mailbox and there'd be like $7,000. I mean, my rent in Hollywood was like $450 a month. So I was pretty much sitting on my couch eating grapes, plucking on my guitar, thinking, I don't know. He's kind of waiting for the phone to ring. But I grew up in a household where you like have a work ethic, and that's when, after I did Nightmare Sisters, I asked Dave Dakota how much that movie cost, and he said $40,000. So I just, said, well, if I raise $40,000, I can make my own movie. And I wrote Assault of the Party Nerds on over a weekend with my friend Mike Becker on a typewriter. I did graduate college without a computer.
Yeah.
And I wrote and made Party Nerds wrote it on a typewriter. We made it without cell phones or walkie-talkies, and shot it on film. And I needed to go to work. And like you, I mean, you're an entrepreneur. I mean, it's difficult to just sit around.
You have to say, as a matter of fact, I know you have an amazing work ethic. And the only way to make it in Hollywood or anywhere in any business is to continue to work at it and to have a great work ethic. And I know you came from a great family who was supportive, as I did too. I never had to wait tables in LA. Not that I'm not putting that down, but I was lucky that I just worked on my craft, and the thing is, I took everything, because I knew when I got to LA, I didn't know anyone. So I took a little bit of everything. And I mean, as much as I kid about it, I've been very lucky. And I reunited, if you read any of the book at all, with my high school sweetheart, and we have a great life and business. And I get to do fun things like this and interview people like you, which is so cool for me. I mean, seriously, like, I'm so proud of you. And when I see some of my friends that are still out there and doing it, and I know the only reason they are is because they're working as hard as they did. And here's the crazy thing. My husband, because I'm a couple of years older than you, he keeps saying, I keep coming up with projects. We have a couple of projects in the works right now. One's show busy and one's business. He goes, don't you ever get tired? Don't you ever just want to just hang out? And I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I can't stop. So I think it also keeps you youthful and keeps your brain young and everything else. But tell us, I want to know what your I just saw in this paper, Richard's first job was frying corn dogs. So yeah, I'm sure you want to talk.
That's true. Yeah. I'm talking about my age, right? Because my first job was in the Northridge Mall at Carousel Snacks, and I was like frying corn dogs. And they had this giant, like, they would never let this happen to me, this giant vat of freaking oil. Oh, and we would use it the next day. So at the end of the day, we had to empty the fryer into this vat and put the vat in the refrigerator and bring it back out the next day. And it weighed like 1 jillion pounds, and it was hot AF. And when I was 16, I looked like I was about 11 or 8. Yeah, you could have a job at 16. Yeah, I looked like I was about 11. And I was working there, and this one lady kept looking at me, and I'm going, carrying the oil out at the end, burning my hands like, and then the work ethic thing, right?
Yes.
But then the next day, I'm like up on a ladder cleaning lights, the grease that comes with all that kind of fast food. And this woman who saw me the day before, obviously she decided on a mission. She goes, I am calling the labor board. That's child labor. There is no way that kid is 16 years old. My favorite part-time job, though, was selling shoes. I loved selling shoes to women because I was really good at selling the handbags, and you made a lot of money selling the purses.
You know what's really interesting about that? If you can sell, then you can. It's all acting. You have to self-promote. Sometimes I went a little too far, I think, but you have to. I mean, I was going to ask you. Well, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions before I wrap it up. How did you raise money? I mean, that's a hard thing to do, is to raise money for films. Did you? It
is, but the first movie, I got $4,000 from 10 different people. So I had a PR teacher at USC that
that's right.
wanted me to go work for his PR company. And I said, well, look, I'm going to make this movie, so invest in it, and I'm working for you. And I had, during my college job, was being kind of a runner and filer for a law firm. And the lawyer that ran that firm put together the partnership for me and also put in $4,000. My brother put in $4,000. My father put in $4,000. 10 people put in $4,000. And I just had this fire in my gut. I just knew we were going to do well. And they all, probably 4 times their money. And it sold all over the world. It played on USA Up All Night. It played on TBS once on New Year's Eve. I just couldn't believe it.
That is so cool. And I had Joe Bob.
And it's streaming on Amazon Prime right now with Salt of the Party.
I'm sure you can find it. I mean, it's definitely still out there. So do you have any projects in the works right now? What's the next thing? Are you just,
I don't know. I'm reading, yeah, it's weird. I'm reading stuff. I'm developing stuff. I'm writing new songs.
It's really
I don't know what's next. And I had an opportunity to produce something, and honestly, with what's going on, I just kind of didn't want to be involved.
No, now you can pick what you want, which is really great.
Well,
you can totally pick and choose. You can. I definitely want to. I want to see the clip that we. What clip was that? I know it was your band. Was that you in? It was okay, but don't say goodbye to. We're gonna look at a promo clip very quickly. Don't go away, Richard. Because I'm gonna have to say goodbye to you after that. Okay, this is Richard and his band. It was
Saturday night about 8:30. Cruising PCH in 78. Picked up Jess, she's my good-looking date. Gotta keep going before it gets too late. So the way you live your double life, 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 the way you live your double life.
Wow, I have not seen that side of you. You have so many sides. So you have so many facets. I mean, and you're daddy, and you're sweet, and you're humble, and I'm mushy, so I'm just gonna tell it like it is, And Quentin Tarantino, you need to call him now. And I know Quentin likes feet, and I have the best feet in show business because on Up All Night we showed him all the time. So
absolutely.
I mean, whatever it takes. So, did you win the Emmy for The Bay? Is that what you won?
I was, but the Bay is really the brainchild of Gregory J. Martin. He's the genius behind the show. And it was very kind of him and my buddy Chris Ray, who's an executive producer, to let me kind of ride their coattails and help them on this last season.
That's so cool.
I'm taking it as a Lifetime Achievement Award, even though it's for the Bay, because I've been around for 30 some odd years in the business. It's a great feeling, and I'm going to put that Emmy on my dad's piano in my mom's house.
You will have an Oscar. You will have an Oscar too. I just interviewed Kyra Reed Lorsch, and she told me she's getting an Oscar. So I know you're going to get an Oscar. And you're going to have Quentin. Cool. You're going to get it all. And hopefully you'll come back on the show. We've had a lot of people commenting how much they love you, by the way.
That's so nice.
Yeah. You rock, and you've got to come back because there's fans out there and they're looking for you. And now they're going to find you, and they're going to go get Double Life, and they're going to go download Justice, and we're going to just find Richard all over the place. And if you really want to see me just being just so adorable, was that the second one? What was it called? Revenge.
You were in Assault of the Party Nerds too.
Okay, so very
adorable. And let me tell you, we spent a lot of time getting your hair ready.
Oh, you're right. Richard Gabai, I love you.
You were great in that movie, and I'm grateful for the friendship and happy to be on the show, and I can't wait to see what's next for you.
Shows you, I can find you anywhere, and so can Quentin. And hi to the kids. Happy birthday, son, and hopefully you'll come back and join us really soon. Really,
looking forward to it. Stay well.
You too. Thanks, Richard. Wow, multi-talented. I get so caught up in all these. I forget where we're going. Where are we going? I mean, that was Richard Gabai. You can, I know that there's so many fans of films that he did in the early days, but he's come a long way. So, go Google him and find out everything else he's been doing. And he's a great guy, really sweet. Oh, we have a little commercial break, and then we have our Kook of the Week, which is very exciting. And then we're going to see a little trailer from our next guest before I introduce her. I like to do that because I get so caught up talking to everyone, then I forget to bring the trailer on, or I bring it in the middle of them speaking. So anyway, here we go. We're going to go to commercial, and then we're going to meet the Kook of the Week, and I'll be right back. Hair.
Comfort, support, confidence. That's what you'll find at rhondashear.com. Shop award-winning intimates, shaping, and apparel in sizes extra small through 3X.
Hi, I'm Zach Markovitz, and as far as you know, I'm an attorney. In a court of law, you want the best lawyer money can buy, but that can get really expensive. So why not call me? If I take your case, you're going to have some sort of representation, and during your trial, I promise to personally use at least 3 of the many courtroom poses that I've perfected. The pensive lean, the steely grin, the casual swagger. And in the absence of evidence, logic, and with a simple-minded jury, my patented looks could give you the advantage. The jury stare down, the stern glance, the defensive point. All these looks were developed specifically by me and my award-winning staff at the Zach Markowitz School of Legal Modeling. So for a career as a legal model, or to hire me as your attorney, call at least one of the numbers on the bottom of the screen or go to my website. And remember, I'm Zach Markowitz. I'll make your case.
Offbeat, quirky, eccentric, queer, it's Rhonda's Kook of the Week. Far out, way out, don't you fear, it's Rhonda's Kook of the Week. Up, down, left, right, these zany guys are out of sight. Are peculiar, insane, so real, it's Rhonda's Kook of the Week.
Cornmine has got his guitar. We are heading to Comic-Con. This is my neighbor. What do you think of the fabulous Cornmine? That's me. I'm a superhero. I've saved the world over 3 times just today.
I think it's good.
You think I'm good? All right.
Yeah.
You going to Comic-Con?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Woohoo!
What's up, bro? Cornmine needs a Starbucks. That's a long line for coffee. Can you give me a cup of coffee?
Yeah.
Superhero's got to have caffeine. Cornholing. What are you? I'm Cornmine, the fabulous Cornmine. Come on, brother.
Up, down, left, right, these zany guys are out of sight. Are peculiar, insane, so real, it's Rhonda's Kook of the Week.
It was the fabulous Cornmine. And you too can be the Kook of the Week if you write us at rhondashearsocialhour.com and let us know your special talent. It could be just about anything. Anything. Anyway, I want to introduce a clip from a film called Against the Ropes, which was based on the life of the next lady that I'm going to be introducing, who I met years ago, who's just fabulous, Jackie Callan. But this Meg Ryan played her in the film. And then we'll come back and we'll speak to the real Jackie Callan.
You have a love for boxing. You're smart, you're pretty, and you're tough.
Dad!
Pretty tough can do anything. Remember that.
Did you take care of my bookie?
No, I stalled your bookie and your ex-wife.
Coffee.
Ever get the feeling you were meant for something more?
I won that fight.
I would have given you a draw. You deserve to draw.
You talk like you think you can do what I do.
I know as much about boxing as you.
Shah's contract. It's yours for $1. You obviously don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I just bought a boxer for $1.
Jackie Callan is about to get her chance.
I'm more scared not to do this than to do it.
So you call me for blackout?
Rudisha, Jackie Callan. I'm just a person taking a chance. You might be interested in who I am.
You still here?
You didn't let me finish.
You ain't never managed nobody in your whole life. How you gonna front me? You can't even front yourself.
I know potential, and I see it in you.
Watch out, world.
You say this boy is good, huh?
He's the real deal.
You bring it all on. I'm gonna squash whatever you guys send my way.
He may be just a tiny bit raw.
This tired old man gonna be my trainer. What have you done? Let's hear some actual ring experience. You first.
I'm not going to disappear just because I make some people uncomfortable. Move out of the way.
This spring, it's not how high you climb.
Renee, I'm on TV.
Keep up the good work. She'll be famous and you'll be history.
He's messing with my fighter. He is setting him up to lose.
Or how far you fall.
You still think I owe you? Everything you did for me, I did the same thing for you. That's how you got the world you're living in.
It's how hard you fight back. Meg Ryan.
For the first time in my life, people heard what I had to say.
Omar Epps.
I ain't ready.
Send him back to the ghetto!
And Charles S. Dutton.
There comes a point where a fight's gotta start.
Knock them down, knock them out.
Against the ropes.
Where it is, nobody acts surprised that we won.
Wow. Imagine Meg Ryan playing part of your life. This next lady is completely fascinating. She's known as the first lady of boxing. She made it in the boxing world. You talk about against all odds. I mean, in the whole Me Too era, the era of sexism, the era of like, you just couldn't do these things. And she started off as an entertainment reporter and covered, we'll let her make sure that I'm saying this right, covered a boxing event and then just fell in love with it and went on to manage James Toney, who was considered to be like one of the top 10 heavy middleweight champions ever, like forever. So she did it. She continues to do it. She's beautiful on the inside and out. She's an inspirational speaker. And we have her right now. We have Jackie Callan. Hey, Jackie. Hey, girl. Oh my gosh. You're still so beautiful. Can you hear me? We got Jackie. We just have to get her to hear me.
Hold on. Let me refresh this real quick.
Hang on.
Okay, talk.
Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, I don't think Jackie hears us. This happens every now and then, but we're going to fix it. This is called live TV.
Okay, she's going to call back in.
Okay, she's going to call back in. In the meantime, we'll go to hair. You know that we always do that. Cheers. This new streaming stuff. It sucks. We're going to get better at it. Just wait. She's gorgeous.
So would you like to go to Rhonda Remembers?
Okay, wait a minute. We're going to go to something else. Let's go to Rhonda Remembers.
Hold on 1 second.
We don't want Jackie to get bored, though. You know, it's really weird when you can talk to your producers and directors from across the room. I don't think this happens on Richard sets, but we're a little different here. We're in the upstairs of my house. We've turned it into a TV studio. I Skype, onto HSN. I talk bras and panties from here. So we're going to go to, where are we going to? It's okay. I'll just keep drinking. I mean, this is what we do in this time. You tell me what we're going to, and we'll go there. Hopefully, Jackie. We got Jackie back. Whoa, I'm putting down the drink. Jackie, can you hear me? No, I can't hear Jackie. Yay! I can't hear Jackie. Wait, we're going to make this work. She can hear me. She can hear me. This is good. We're getting there. She can hear me. I can't hear her. But I'm going to refresh everybody's talking to us right now. So just hang in there, Jackie. Hang in there. Okay. Don't go away. Woo! Okay. Don't go away.
Now you can't hear her?
I can't hear her. Can you all hear her? We've been so good. We do all this testing before we do this show. And then we try. We're going to keep trying. We'll get her. We'll get her. We'll get her. Just hang in there. But we do all this testing before we go live, and it usually works. But, they have all these streaming platforms now. And we're on one called Be Live. And it happens. It just happens. I don't know what to say about it. No one has to wear pants when you do these things. That's the cool thing. Okay, Jackie, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? She sees me, but she can't hear me.
Okay, I'm going to X her out and try to call in again.
Okay, we'll try again. Hang in there. Does she need to turn the volume up?
I'm going to show you some pictures of her, Rhonda.
Okay, we're going to see some pictures of Jackie. Okay, and I'm going to go look and see what you guys are talking about so I can see if you all are. Oh my gosh, look at Jackie. Oh my gosh, look at this. I mean, she's the real thing. And I know she was really friendly with Sly's mom. Imagine being that glamorous and that beautiful and being in the boxing ring and being around so many men back then who wouldn't have respect for women. I know it. I mean, I lived that era, and I know Jackie did too. And I'm dying to talk to her about that with you guys. She is an author too. I forgot to say that. She's written 2 books, Hit Me With Your Best Shot, A Flight Plan for Dealing with All of Life's Hard Knocks, and Between the Ropes. So, and then of course, the film Against the Ropes. Fascinating woman. We're going to get her. So just hang in there. In the meantime, she's coming. She's coming. Do we have you? I can't hear her. This is like so frustrating. Maybe I can just listen to her on the phone and talk to. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to listen to you on the phone. It's all going to be good. Just hang on. I don't know. These things happen, Jackie. I'm so sorry. Thank you. You and everybody else is hearing Jackie, right?
I hear you perfectly now. This is great. Yay.
Jackie,
Hi, Rhonda.
how are you? It's been years and you don't change. Like you look exactly the same.
Well, so do you. I was going to say the same thing before I was seeing you and not hearing you. I said, that woman has not changed at all.
Well, right now I'm wearing wigs because I'm not getting my hair done right now. I'm just not. I'm just hair. I don't know if you have anything to drink, but here.
Honey, let's toast to our friendship. And that is a fabulous wig. I want to know where you got it.
Thank you. I got it from wigs.com because I knew nothing about buying wigs, but it is real hair. It is real hair. Wait, hair.
It looks fabulous. Who would know, right?
What's really fun is I go on HSN, and I'm with my bras and panties, and I'm on air like hours during the day. And then I'll go on 1 hour with like really blonde hair, and then I'll come back the next with shorter, dark hair, and no one says anything. I'm like, I don't know what my customers think. But anyway.
The magic of TV. By the way, I have to tell you, your products are fabulous.
Oh.
They are so, I love them. The ones I've ordered, they're great.
Well, Jackie.
I will say they're definitely comfortable.
They are comfortable. And you know what? Here's the benefit. And we're going to have to do this. I don't know if you saw Richard, but we'll do it for his wife. We send all of our ladies on the show a really nice goodie bag. So we'll get your address. We're going to send you some really cool things. So that's the benefit.
Yes.
So, I mean, I think you and I met through Carol Connors a million years ago.
Oh my God. How is Carol? She's still around?
She is doing great. She's as feisty. They're doing a biography on her right now. And, she's just amazing. She never stops. She's just as young and as spirited as ever.
And the greatest thing is that she wrote the theme from Rocky.
She wrote the theme from Rocky.
Like the theme song of my life. And so,
but it is the theme song of your life. I mean, so Jackie, I know you and I met each other and we talked socially, but your life is so fascinating because you did this and you took the world of boxing, the first woman, gives me chills, in a world where there was, like I said, I did stand up, but we're talking boxing. Like, what veneer could you have put on?
How crazy was I? It's been 41 years, so I didn't know any better. I was younger then, but I just figured, why can't I do this? If men can make a world champion, why can't I find a young fighter who I think is talented? And why can't I learn how to make the right moves and wheel and deal with HBO and Showtime? And why can't I do it? Who's to say a woman can't have a world champion? And of course, everybody said impossible. It's never been done.
Oh, yeah.
Which you know how that is.
Oh, yeah.
Tells us you can't do something.
It makes you even madder. I got told that in stand up, but we're talking managing boxers. So, I know those shark waters that I had to navigate in, which is why I ended up doing comedy more than anything else, is because I use comedy in my real life to turn off guys. I make jokes.
It's so funny that you said that because I've had people say over the years, how did you deal with that sexual harassment kind of situation where someone will say, oh yeah, I'll put your fighter on my card if you do this or this or this. And I always deflected everything with comedy.
Yes.
A funny comeback.
Right.
The guy would drop his, trunks in front of me in the locker room. And I'd say, oh, I'm so sorry that do you think are you through growing? Is that
Is that it?
And everything.
No, comedy.
Get through a million situations.
Well, you know what? That's interesting that you say that. And I think it throws guys off, or it did back then. It really, most women didn't react that way. And probably that's why I didn't get as far, as because I didn't go that way. But you didn't either.
That's why you and I were never caught up in that Me Too movement, because
Right.
we were never victims. We were
Never
caught up in that.
Never. What you have done with your life is so amazing. So you left because you were living in Los Angeles when I met you.
Yes, I was out there for 16 years, born in Detroit.
Right.
Then moved out there after my divorce.
Right.
And lived out there for 16 years. And then moved back because my children and grandchildren are here in Michigan. And my youngest son had a bout with cancer and a brain tumor. And
oh my
some
gosh.
issues that I felt I needed to be back here for.
Wow. And you went through some health issues as well, right, Jackie? I did not know that.
Oh gosh, I've had melanoma. I've got 4 heart stents. I've got glaucoma. But I feel great. And I feel that everything that I've dealt with is just kind of made me stronger, and I'm so grateful that that's all I've had. Not that I'm not minimizing it.
No.
It was so much worse.
Well, I know that you're doing inspirational speaking right now, and
I am. Yeah, I have been. Now there's not.
No, I know.
A large crowd, so it's hard to do it.
It's all going to come back.
Social distancing.
I know it's all going to come back. So how? I mean, you know what? We're in such a time where women need to uplift women. It's so great. I mean, I've done it on a small level, just as an entrepreneur. I've talked in front of colleges and women's groups, but it must be fascinating. Like your audiences must just eat you up. So what do you?
Well, I think because I started out as a journalist, so my first 25 years was as an interviewer. I covered the Oscars and the the Grammys and the Tonys and the Emmys, and so I interviewed everyone from Elvis to Sinatra to you name them, the presidents, and so I had a very illustrious career in journalism, and that prepared me to be able to talk to anybody.
Anyone.
If I had to deal with a Don King or whoever, I was ready for it.
Oh my
I
gosh.
had no intimidation at all.
What was it like dealing with a Don King?
Well, you just had to hold your own ground, and you couldn't let anybody get over on you and try to double talk you, which they always did.
Did you ever come across or work with Howard Cosell or any?
Oh yeah, of course. At the beginning of my career, he was still broadcasting, so we came in contact quite a bit before he passed away. He was a character.
Oh, I know he was. I mean, one time I did something, and I was on a dais. I was really young. At the press club I was Miss Press Club, because I was on the dais, and he was sitting next to me, and they were roasting Muhammad Ali. Oh my God, they were roasting Muhammad Ali, and it was Sammy Davis Jr. and okay, this is how old I am, Gene Autry, and wait, you'll love this. I was sitting next to Howard Cosell, and do you remember hotel key rooms were like, they were big, they were really big. I don't know where he was staying, but I was sitting next to him, and I'm 23, and he kept sliding it next to me, and I go. I was being funny, and I wasn't even doing comedy. I was like, "Oh, it's so big," and he would slide it. Come meet me in my hotel room. I'm like,
"Yeah, that was the wrong comment to tell them so big,"
But
it really was more of a comment than what he was trying to say to you.
Oh, I know, no, but I was messing with him because he kept flirting with me, and
He was such a womanizer. I couldn't believe it, even in front of his wife. We went to dinner one night. My husband and Tommy Hearns, the fighter I worked with,
yes,
and Howard and his wife, and right in front of everybody, he was bold.
That's terrible. But anyway, I mean, so exciting. The people you interviewed, the people that, okay, so I'm going to bring up a name to you, and hopefully you'll remember this name, because I was chatting with him earlier. Do you remember Tom Casino, the photographer?
Oh my God, I love Tom Casino.
Okay, so if I have a funny story about Tom. I wanted him to come on.
He took a lot of our pictures, of my champion James Tony. I've known Tom for probably 35 years.
He loves you. Okay.
I love him.
So I met Tom Casino when I was doing stand-up, and we were at the same hotel, and he came up to me because he was a fan of Up All Nights. He ended up photographing Up All Night just for the fun of it. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know he was this revered boxing photographer. So anyway, he's gone through illnesses too, really bad, but he's come out on the other side. He's not photographing anymore, doing photography anymore. But I texted him earlier, and I said, I have Jackie Callan on tonight. He started doing stories about you that went on. And one of your boxers, I think it was James Toney, he said he used to hide your dogs from you and it would make you crazy. I don't know.
Absolutely. Those guys put more pranks on me than you can believe. I'd bring my little puppy to training camp and they would hide him and I couldn't find him. And they would dangle the leash off the window thinking that the dog was dragging on the cement. I mean, those guys gave me a hard time, but it was fun.
Oh my gosh. He told me great stories. He also just said that James Toney was one of the best of the best for like the 10 best of all times. He went on how amazing you were and that you held your own and how he loved you. And now I don't know if this is true or not, but I know he used to do this for me, but he said he used to help you hide your shopping. You would go to Beverly Hills and you'd shop in Beverly Hills and it helps hide your bags. So I don't know who he was hiding them from, but I love that.
That is so true. He was such a great confidant. Because I could count on him to just be my buddy and not say a word. So yeah, he's a great guy.
I would love to get him on. If you guys love box, what is it you all want? Okay. They told me, Jackie, my producer director, told me they lost the video. So you need to do whatever you need to do. Press the button or,
How do we do video again here?
Just what? Just click the link again. Just click the link again.
Okay, honey.
So we're showing gorgeous pictures. We're showing gorgeous pictures of you right now.
Okay, hold on, because I want to see you. So
that's all right. We're seeing pictures of you, and I mean just gorgeous pictures.
All right, hang on here, mommy.
But I'm just going to keep telling everybody while you're doing that. Tom Casino is a very famous boxing photographer with award-winning photographs. The sweetest human, and absolutely loved Jackie Callan, and has an eye for the ladies. But told me some really cute stories about her earlier. But
did you see me again?
Do you see her yet? She said, "You're coming. You're coming. You're coming." So don't go.
You see me?
Yes. Yay!
Well, Tom is an absolute sweetheart, and believe me, there are plenty of stories because I was the only woman with all these guys running around LA in Beverly Hills, and I was supposed to be going to the vitamin store to pick up all the supplements, but I'd be running to Giorgio and all these shops, and so I would tell him, "Don't say where I was," because I didn't want them to think I was this girly girl. I mean, I'm supposed to be the manager.
Right, yeah.
But I snuck in my shopping here and there.
Oh, it's just a great story. And that just shows you there's really good people. Like Tom Casino was so respectful of women and, put women on a pedestal. And to have a confidant like that, I'm glad that he made it through, his health issues and that you have. Hey, I'm going through some right now, too. You get to certain ages and that's what happens. I tell you what, I would love to hear your speeches. And I didn't realize that you wrote 2 books.
I do. I have a self-help book called Hit Me With Your Best Shot. And it's really just about living your life as if it was a fight. Get up off the ground. If you lose a round, there's always another round. Stay in the game. Don't give up. Never be a quitter. All those metaphors.
But it's true.
My second book, which is called Between the Ropes, is kind of an autobiography. And it just tells about basically how the movie they did about me with Meg Ryan was kind of bullshit. It wasn't a real story.
Right.
And yeah, that's the book Between the Lines, Between the Ropes. And it tells the real story of what it was like. And if you have a movie made about your life, they change it. Lessons, and they change so much.
They do.
That by the time they finished, it was like, who is that?
Who is that?
It was fun, and it was fun working with Meg Ryan. And I didn't think she was the best person to play me per se.
I think Kim Basinger should have. I think Kim Basinger should have played you. Kim Basinger.
Kim was one of the ones on the list, but she had just finished a movie. I can't remember which one it was. And did she do Dangerous Minds? Was that her?
I think she did. Michelle Pfeiffer. Michelle Pfeiffer. Another one that could have done it.
That's the one. Michelle Pfeiffer. It was between Michelle Pfeiffer. Who else was it? Kim. Sandra Bullock.
Oh.
Sharon Stone and Meg Ryan.
Oh.
And I mean, I loved all of them, right?
Right.
But they ended up going with Meg Ryan, who Sharon Stone, I think, or Sandra Bullock might have captured me a little bit better.
Strong.
Either
Yes.
way, it was an honor.
It's an honor because it just continues to always, just if nothing else, people could find you and then want to hear your voice. So are you managing right now? Do you have any special?
I am. I'm still doing it. I've been in boxing, like I said, 41 years. Now, it used to be the kids were my son's age. Now the kids are younger than my grandsons. So it's hard to believe, but when you were mentioning like Sammy Davis Jr. and all those people, it reminds me, I'm going to be 75 years old, and I don't feel it, and I certainly
You don't look it.
Energy of somebody half my age, but now I have fighters who are younger than my grandsons. It's crazy.
Oh, Jackie, that's awesome. You got to keep doing it.
Wonderful kid now. His name is Myquan Williams. He's 21 years old. He'll be 22, and he's undefeated. He's at 16 fights, and if it wasn't for this pandemic, he'd probably be 18-0 now, or 19-0, but we got cut short.
I know.
That was that.
I know. Everyone, that's happened to everyone, but he will make his comeback for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Did you lose me again?
I think we did. I don't know why we're having this trouble. This just happens every now and then. We were lucky with our first guest tonight, Richard. But I'm going to wrap now anyway, because we have literally passed our 10 o'clock hour.
I'm so sorry, and I love talking to you. And
Jackie.
I could go on for another hour with you.
Jackie, we'll do it again. Because you know what? I really want you to talk to women about the strength of women and what you went through. That's very important to me because I love helping women through my line. So I would love to have you back. We're going to send you
I love that because I do have an experience with battery that I haven't really discussed much, but it's a very strong story, and we'll talk about that next time.
I would love to do that, and we'll book you on a specific show where it's like, people that tie into that. Jackie, we're going to be in touch with you. Marie's going to be in touch with you too, because we're going to get you a goodie bag in the meantime. I love you. Great good health to you.
I hear your
I know. That's just my puppies are coming by and I'm talking into the phone. But we love you. And I know everyone else is going to be asking for more of you. All right, baby. Thank you. Thank you, Jackie. Jackie Callan. My goodness. Sorry. Okay. So there's Puppy Cam. Okay. So at least you're seeing what's going on below me. So that's Honey Baby that's standing, wagging her tail. Sweetie's to the far right. That's Girly Girl, who's the grandmother of the dog that's standing. And then Lexi, who's licking her lips and half on the floor, all the way far left. I'm really excited to have Jackie Callan. I'm sorry that we had some trouble tonight. It just happens, but she's fascinating, and I totally want to have her back on. I love helping women. That's my mantra on the second part of my life and career. So we'll have Jackie back on. And in the meantime, if Richard's still listening, we have to send his wife a goodie bag for putting up with him. And we're going to send Jackie a fabulous goodie bag from RhondaShear.com. If you guys don't know what else I do, I design and manufacture women's intimate apparel that are just the best and the most comfortable. But anyway, it has been a great night. We have a couple of more things for you before we go. One is, I get so excited with my guests. I mean, what great guests, Jackie Callan and Richard Gabai. But, we like to have fun with this show. So I'm going to do a couple things first. Hair. Cheers. Okay, now, I don't know what my producer has planned because things are good, zany tonight. But this is Rhonda Remembers. I have a feeling, is this the 80s? This is a music video I did when I was 23 years old, and it was with my old nose and my old hair. And you can probably see it on, not on MTV, on YouTube now. But yeah, look, this is a really oldie but goodie.
And now I'd like to give you just a little taste of a couple of videos that I had the pleasure of appearing in. The One You Love by Glenn Frey and Virginia by The Sights.
Time you're in fear. Oh, honey, never mind the things you hear. Now I figure it's too hard to be clear. The children of the Peter first. We got no time to wait. You know that I should be the last. Nothing's out to fail. Open up your eyes. I don't have to tell you. When I whisper in your little ear, I don't have to love you. I know I'll tell you all you need to hear. You chase illusions and you wonder why. It always seems that life is passing you by. Children ever be there first. We got no time to wait. You know that I won't be the last. Nothing's out to fail. Open up your eyes. Yeah. Oh, baby, open up your eyes. Don't be so shy. Gotta open up your eyes. Don't be so shy. Now and then you show it. You admit that love's no essential thing. Follow it. I tell the world how much you mean to me. Well, imagine history tonight. And history laughs at all the children we find.
Love and sizzle kisses. I'll see you next week. Thank you so much. We have a great show. Jim Wynorski next week with a bevy of beauties and Jackie the Joke Man Martling. So you don't want to miss. It's going to be a great, great, great show. In the meantime, here's Beverly Center.
2, 1.
Hi, everybody. It's Beverly Center here. You remember me. I was named after the fashion mecca of the universe, Beverly Center in Beverly Hills. And occasionally I pop up on Rhonda's little show here. But I'm really the star. Now, I give Beverly's tips. And this is my tip for this week. You ready? Write it down. You know, everybody's doing these Zoom meetings and these Skype meetings. And what are they seeing? They're seeing just this. And you look like you're in a mugshot. So first of all, here's my tip. Look like you're listening. You may not give a shit about what they're saying and I understand. Because these Zoom meetings are boring. They're the same boring people that were boring when they were in person. Now they're even more boring. But I get it. Put on some damn makeup and some dangly earrings and look glamorous. So at least they're going to listen to you when your Zoom or your Skype or whatever Zoom thing comes up. They're going to be focused on you. Now, it doesn't matter what you're wearing from the waist down. As a matter of fact, I have no pants, no skirt on right now, no panties. Now, I have a tip about that. Keep it manicured down there because I'm sitting on white. And eventually we're going to get out of this thing and people are going to start coming over. And if you're not keeping it clean down there, then no one's going to be able to sit on your couch. So as I say, keep it clean, be ready for those Zoom meetings, and look glamorous. That's Beverly Center's tip for tonight. Now, I'm going to close out this show because Rhonda, whatever, I don't know what she's doing. She's having a cocktail. Who knows? But all I have to say for you is because I'm on this little show that I want you to find Rhonda's podcast. Yes, it's called Rhonda Shear Social Hour Podcast. Where do you find it? Wherever podcasts are. Apple, all over the place. That's the first thing. The second thing, I would like to thank Rhonda's guests. They were fabulous. The fabulous Jackie Callan, the fabulous Richard Gabai, and you can read more about them because we're going to link you to their pages from RhondaShearSocialHour.com. So I was nice to say that for Rhonda, even though she's left. But remember, I'm the star of this show. Remember, be ready for your Zoom call. From here up, don't wear pants. No one cares. Earrings, lipsticks, and hair. Hair. You know what to do when we say hair. Cocktail. Love and sizzle kisses. It's Beverly Center signing off.
Stuck at home and you don't know what to do. Hold on, baby, Rhonda Shear's got you. Grab your computer, log on, baby, you got the power.